So you got momentum right now. Keep that going. So a lot of people will work on the deals they have, and it takes away time of the prospecting activities that got you those deals in the first place. So great job, but don't get complacent on getting more business. That's how you get that pipeline filled up. Sal, any good news this past week? Have you had your real estate hat on this week? You had, because you had the apartment that you were showing,
I've
and
been showing them in Jersey. Got it on rental. Looks like it's gonna be signed. Lease is signed, so that's good.
and you just mentioned that there's a client you have, and there's a house on the block that went for sale, and you said, should I reach out to that person and let them know?
Yeah,
The question is absolutely, right? It's being knowing what's going on and letting your clients know what's going on in the market. So if the house pops up on someone's block and it's in your sphere, it's an awesome way of reaching out to them. Hey, not sure if you saw that, this so-and-so house went up for sale. You had any questions about it? So that's something that we could definitely look at consistently. New listings that pop up and say, who lives in this area, who lives in this block, and share it with them. Challenges. Did I have any wins this week? No real new business. So no. How about you, Alessandra? How are you?
I'm good. I actually have been working on a lot of rentals. A lot of people have been reaching out through Facebook wanting help to finding apartments. So I have about five active leads that I'm working on right now, helping them find the place. And my cousin actually called me last night, and she's looking to buy like a beach bungalow out east pretty
Nice.
soon. So if anybody knows of any properties, she's looking for a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, or a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Literally just wants like a beach cottage out east. She's willing to put in some work to it. So she's hoping to find something before the summer.
Oh, nice. There's a way to search for those sort of homes on public records, and you can actually send out a mailer. I just want to recap some of the things we already have discussed. One is sphere of influence. I'm going to just keep repeating it. It should be our main priority. It's your strongest lead source. The vast majority of business done in real estate right now are from your sphere or referral from someone you know. So how do we do that? And I've said this once before, I've said this twice, probably 3 times. Do we have like a written plan on how to reach out to a sphere and be top of mind? No, but we should, right? So why not, after the sales meeting today, just jot down things that you think are important on reaching out to your sphere. I think the first priority should be organizing a list. Who here has a perfect list of their sphere of influence? Not even perfect. Because there's never perfect. Who has a decent list that they feel like, all right, I have a good starting point? You do, right? Because that's something you've been working on for a while. So now you can get very strategic on how to reach out to those people. I had a list of prior clients and my closest sphere, like friends and family, that I sent out holiday cards to each year. And last year I couldn't find it. I got a new computer, I guess. I don't know, and I couldn't find it. But that's something that it's a great starting point, right? Your past clients, your family and your friends, boom, that's your core, right? That's your real close people that definitely would refer you. So start there and then grow off that. I gave a list that a couple weeks ago. Did you guys get that one? I have a couple of extra copies here. Where do you find your sphere? And there's literally a list of like 1,000,000 questions. What are the names of your family members? Those are obvious. What about your children's teachers' names, coaches? I have lists of tons and tons of parents I coached. Why wouldn't I take that list and organize them and somehow figure out a way to reach out to them? And different people are going to get different types of responses. Where do you buy tires from? Where'd you buy your car from? Right? Who cleans your car? Who's your mailman? Who do you know at church? So just looking at these questions, you might decide that some people are not going to go on that list, and I would argue why, but it just makes it more strategic on why that is, who you're putting on there. Barista or coffee shop. There's this guy, the owner of the coffee shop I go to, I know really well. He lives in Amityville. Why isn't he on my list? He's not. And I wouldn't have thought of that until I looked down at this sheet of paper and said, oh, coffee shop. I definitely got to get Pete on that list. So these are things we have to do. And it would be huge and good use of our time to do that. Text check-ins, coffee meetups. I was looking at that when I wrote that down, and I thought there would be so many people that would say, yeah, we got to get together for coffee, and it never happens. But even just asking, isn't that a good idea? Hey, let's get, I haven't talked to you in so long. Let's get coffee one day just chat, let me know what day works, maybe the next couple of weeks. And some might say, yeah, we definitely got to do that. And it never happens, but you reached out to them and it was good use. It was a good reach out. DMs, comments on social. You still doing the 10-5?
Always,
Yeah.
always on it.
Birthdays, anniversary shout outs. What's that? And that's why you have some people reaching out to you.
Yeah.
Did you tell your cousin she owes you one?
My cousin Joe, he says, and if things don't go through, you're definitely getting a listing. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna pray that you don't get this.
Right.
It's to go through, it's gonna go through. But yeah, I said to him, that's fine. I said, but just refer me to people.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Yep.
That you think of me when, I'm gonna give you cards and blah, 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 and hand them out. So
Did you ever do the marketing plan and give him a copy?
I did the PTA
Yep.
and the comps and stuff, and I gave him stuff, so.
Do it digital digital doors and email it to him. And just say, hey, by the way, this is the stuff I do for my sellers, just so you're aware. All of a sudden, he's gonna look at you and maybe like, wow.
This is not
Yeah,
just
like-
like Chicky,
Yeah,
this is who calls me Chicky.
yeah, you're not chicky anymore. You have a nice marketing plan and
That's
so I think that's really important for our closest sphere who might look at you as chicky.
Yeah.
And then, wow, this is a nice presentation because everyone loves it, right? Anyone you show it to loves it. So, hey, this is what I would have done. I just want you to see. So anyone you have that are thinking of selling, I do my price trend analysis, which I showed you,
Yeah.
as well as this marketing plan. So they
Well, he
fully,
was- But I did,
Yeah.
because he saw it, when I came there, I had my folder,
Yeah.
opened it up, I had tons of paperwork, I was able to hand him stuff, show them old stuff, him and his wife.
and
So,
this stuff that we have, it really is, it's a tool in a way, right? To show what you know and show the professionalism of it. If you have prior flyers from prior houses, bring that with you. Hey, this is an example of my marketing
and
material.
if you don't, just Jared, he's got a few.
There's a million of them hanging around the office. This is an example of our marketing material. And then you can bring two different kinds. You bring the full page and the bifold. And in your presentation, you say, which one do you like better? Which one are we going to order when your listing goes live? It's a presumptive close. Now they're visualizing, choosing, and they're visualizing you as selling their house and taking care of that. So we really, priority number one, put together a list of sphere and really go deep into who is on that list. And again, where do you find your sphere? Alessandra, I don't think you have a copy of this, right?
No.
So we'll get you a copy of this. It just creates thought on who should be on that list. Open houses and door knocking. So open houses is a huge source of business. We're going to actually go over in the sales meeting some really good questions on what to ask somebody that comes to an open house that makes you different. You could even partner up with open agents that are doing open houses. So let's say there's an open house that Rich is doing, or I'm doing, or Sal's doing, and you could do some prospecting activities beforehand. So if you were doing an open house and I said, hey, I'd love to leave some door hangers, let's look at a map and I'll choose an area that you're not going to do. Would you be okay with me doing that? Absolutely. You're going to help market my open house 100%. And that's when you create conversations. And a closing we just had on 104 West Drive, it came from prospecting for an open house, handing out those door hangers, inviting someone to an open house. The lady said, yeah, I'm thinking of selling next spring. And sure enough, she was thinking of, what's that?
Did she come to the?
She did not come to the open house.
But
She kept the information and gave me a call. And my follow-up was not very good. I'll be
Yeah.
dead straight with you. She seemed to like me on that first impression. And my follow-up was not good. And she wound up picking up the phone and saying, hey, I'm ready to list. That stuff works. And door knocking sucks in a sense. But when you're inviting someone to an open house, it's very non-threatening. And some people aren't gonna, they're gonna look at you and say, no. And so what? You go to the next one. Who cares? But you're not gonna be that salesman per se when you're doing door knocking for an open house. Hey, it's Jared from Laker Realtors. I just want to let you know I'm hosting an open house, or my office is hosting an open house at 104 West Drive, which is right up the block. If you know anyone that might be looking to purchase, I'd love for you to share it. And also, for the first 20 minutes of the open house, we're inviting all the neighbors to come over and preview it. See how your house might compare, maybe get ideas for designs, whatever it is. Knows your neighbors are good neighbors. I'd love for you to come by and say hi. Even if they don't come, does that potentially leave a good impression? If you do that 10 times, I guarantee you 3 or 4 of them are gonna say, thank you, and you left a good impression for them. When you're doing that, I always like to bring a little notepad and jot down any pleasant interactions I had. And I'm gonna follow up with a handwritten note. Hey, it was a real pleasure speaking to you. Here's my card. Again, if you have any future real estate needs, I'd love to be your go-to source for that. So jot down any pleasant conversations or any pleasant exchanges you had with anybody and follow up with a handwritten note. Should those people go on your database? Yes. You could do that with just sold as well. So again, less threatening, right? Hey, we just sold a house. It definitely affected the value of your home. If you have any questions, did you have any questions on the sale? And some people might say, no, I already saw that it's listed, that it's sold. I already know what it sold for. Some people will ask, what did it sell for? And some people say, what do I care? I'm not going anywhere. And either one of those answers, so what? You know, just keep moving to the next one. I mean, there's a million scripts you can use when you're door knocking, but the open house one's super easy, you know? So maybe in the next week or two, identify an open house we're doing, and the week of, link up with the person hosting it and leave door hangers, door knock for door and leave door hangers. I mean, that's something we can do right away. The weather's breaking, it's nice out. We turn the page, something we got. The clock.
2025.
Cool. 51 ways to get a listing. So I have these in the office. Have you seen this before, Alessandra?
Yeah,
No?
I have. Joe actually showed that to me when
Cool.
we were texting. Yeah.
So 51 ways to get a listing. Again, it's going to create thought on what you should be doing. You know, sometimes we wake up and we're like, I don't know what to do. So if I just look and I pick a number, 3, send a pair report. So pair report's a professional equity assessment report. It's on a nice form. You can input the information, and you might do that to all your past clients. You already know what the house looks like because you were in the house, you sold it. They would probably find that valuable, past clients especially, because you already helped them buy a house, and who knows, maybe they're thinking of doing something. So should we do that quarterly with our past clients? Yeah, I think that would be good use of our time. Should that be in our business plan? Yeah, I think it should. Number 7, call into neighborhoods where you or another agent in your office have an active, legitimate buyer. Hey, I have a buyer. So, hey, my name is Jared from White Realtors. The reason I'm calling is because I represent a couple of buyers, one specifically that's very interested in moving into this area. I wanted to know if I did have an offer for you, would you be open to looking it over? If somebody's not looking to sell, that they might say no, move on to the next one. But you know, the vast majority of people have thoughts of selling. Different people are on different timelines on when they are going to sell. But if you had 100 calls, I would imagine 5 of those people have maybe a timeline in their mind that they're thinking of selling that might be inside of 12 months. Would you think that's accurate? Out of 100 houses, you think 5 are more than just thinking about it, maybe starting to put some things in action? Do you think that's accurate? 5 out of 100? Does it sound right?
Yeah.
So would that be good use of your time? I think so. So these 51 ideas, it just creates ideas on what you should be doing. Contact vendors, plumbers, roofers, electricians to see if they know anyone thinking of selling. So maybe your landscapers, would it be good use of your time to reach out and say, hey, listen,
Today,
what's that?
today when I left, it was doing my place.
Yeah. So, hey, if you know anyone thinking of selling, they're doing spring cleanups or anything like that. As you know, I'm a real estate agent, or if you don't know, I am. I love to get a little tip, and I'll upgrade my my cutting. I'll give you the spring cleanup and fall cleanup and the fertilizer agreement as well if you get me some business.
No, if you get any business, I'll make sure they use you as a landscape.
That too, yeah. Go to garage sales, people cleaning out. I think we should stop at every single garage sale. And again, this is the season, we're starting to do these garage sales. Phone work, targeted prospecting. So make lead gen a habit. We got to get on the phone. So ideas of who to call. Expired listings are more of a factor than they have in, yep. Expired listings are more of a factor than they've been in a very long time. They're out there. So there's old expireds that are thinking of relisting. There's current expireds. So if you take a peek every day, there's got to be, 50, at least 50 or so across the whole island. And of course, you're going to want to maybe cherry pick your target areas, but why not use that as an excuse to get on the phone? That's an easy phone call to make. So if you want to get better on the phone, call Expire Listings. For sale by owners, we already went down the rundown of distressed properties, homes that look like rentals. And then calling around an open house is another great tool too. And it's pretty much the same script as the door knocking script. You have to put this stuff in action, whatever it is. You know, there's not a shortage of ideas of what you should be doing to go find more business and do activities. But you gotta write it down, you gotta put it in your calendar, and you actually have to do it. Because if you're not doing it, it doesn't matter what you know, right? It doesn't matter how many bells and whistles you have, it doesn't matter how many tools we offer you, it doesn't matter how good you are talking about real estate. If you're not doing it, it's waste. So what are some ideas that we're gonna do this week? And I'm actually gonna, if you guys are willing, have you tell me. Good.
Oh, me? What could I do this week? Probably hand out business cards when I'm at an event I'm working this weekend.
Okay, how many cards do you think you can hand out? Realistically, don't be so ambitious.
Realistically, 5+.
So shoot for 5. All right.
I'm working, yeah.
And what about actually writing down your sphere in an actual Excel sheet?
Well, we have it's all in my whiteboard.
Is it in there?
Well, almost all my database, yeah.
Are,
Besides for my mother and father who are in my sphere that don't need to be in there. 'cause it's
okay,
into them.
all right, good.
The majority of the people.
Are they in a filter or a specific hashtag so you can actually sort through them?
Most of them are filtered.
Good.
Some of them I don't know how to didn't know what to filter them, so I left them without time. But every person that I've interacted with or got a business card with that another thing that has gone to my sphere.
So you can do multiple hashtags. So even if you don't know, all of them should be on a SOI hashtag or sphere of influence hashtag or whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But it sounds like you're somewhat organized. You have a good starting point.
Somewhat. Yeah,
So
more of it.
how about going through that list and adding birthdays to it? Anyone you know, and there'll be a lot you don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. I would have to cross check because I don't. If I have their information, I put it in, but I also don't ask people their birthday when meeting them.
No, of course not.
In there, like when I do
No,
this.
I get Facebook usually.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of them have it on
They
Facebook.
just put this day,
That's
Not
smart.
as much a year, but.
Right, the year doesn't really, that's not important.
doesn't matter.
How about you, Salim?
Gonna be a week, I have the kids this week.
Yep.
So I'll be with them, but I'm gonna try to reach out to some of the people that I kind of lost contact with. That initially said they were looking,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like you try and then they just aren't responding, so I gave it a break for a while, so maybe I'll try.
If you
reaching
put
out
them,
again.
are they in your database in my Wyker?
I'm not sure if all of them are, but some definitely are not.
So what I would probably do, just good use of my time, if I don't have a lot of it. Get them all in your my Wyker with a specific hashtag. Maybe maybe not, they're not hot buyers, but I don't know, think of a hashtag that you want to use. And then you can email that hashtag on a Thursday.
Hashtag wasting my time.
If they never see that hashtag, so yeah, possible waste of my time, that could be your hashtag. It doesn't really matter, it could be funny. And every Thursday, send an email to hashtag possibly wasting my time. Hey, I'm setting up my appointments for the weekend, is there any houses you wanted to see? And then without fail, every Thursday, they're gonna get that. And then we talk about how every contact needs, what, 8 to 12 contacts before you can convert them. So maybe after 8 weeks, one of them says, yeah, I want to see this house, and then boom, holy crap, follow-up does work. But now you're just sending one email a week to 5 to 10 people rather than spending the time of doing a 10 individual, because that takes up a lot of time. So does that sound like something that you would want to do?
I'll have to.
Today's Tuesday, so
I haven't done it in a while, gone onto that, I'll be honest.
even if there's a small amount on Thursday, just do it individually, copy and paste the text.
Well, some of them I just got phone numbers too, they never
Yeah,
gave
so-
me their email addresses.
So text them,
Yeah,
put together a text, you can copy and paste it and send it. Hey, it's Sal, we spoke a while ago, I know your home search, I know you're still looking for a home, or are you still looking for a home? I'm setting up my
I do
appointments
try
for the
to leave
weekend.
them open-ended questions so that
Good.
I try to get a response back, and still,
Yeah,
I can show you, I got a.
I believe
a
it.
list of
I
them.
believe it. Maria?
I'm gonna do I always do the 10-10-5. And I'm gonna do squeeze pages for my buyers and sellers in my farm areas. I'm gonna pair old clients and family and friends, give them market valuations or set them up in the CRM. And then I'm gonna clean and update my contacts and hashtag my contacts better.
Cool. Anyone on the Zoom want to chat and say what they plan on doing? A couple of things they're gonna do this next week?
So I've been just making a lot of cold calls, like going through the expired listings, like you've been saying, kind of touching base with for sale by owner listings that I've been finding. Being that I'm in North Carolina right now, I've been going to a couple of events and going to different agents in the area and networking with them if they have any clients that they know are leaving New York to go to North Carolina, and if they have somebody who's representing them on the New York end to get their home on the market. So just kind of working that right now while I'm here, and yeah, just calling while I
That's
can.
really good use of your time, because early on you want to learn as much as possible, but you also want to talk as much as possible. So just having these conversations, you're getting really good at talking about real estate, I would imagine. And it's gonna pay big dividends in your career. So I think that's good use of your time.